I'm Isabella, and today we're going to talk about a traumatic experience, but one where I was able to find the positives and soar through the challenges. It was my first year of college. I went up north for college, and school went really well. It was an on-campus party where I was physically assaulted by a woman, and she did go to my school. I was 19 at the time and she was 24. We were on a campus party, and downstairs is where everyone dances and gets together, and my roommates and we walked in. And at the time I wasn't a cheerleader in college, I was a Poms girl. As a Poms girl, you're not cheering the same way a cheerleader would, you're not stunting, but it's jazz dance with pom-poms. It was a different style than I was ever used to. With that said, I was stretching a little bit in my back earlier that week and kind of bothered something, but nothing too crazy, just an overstretch. But during the campus party, we ended up going downstairs where the music was because we were gonna dance and have fun together, and it was actually my first college party. So my roommates and we went downstairs, and before we got downstairs, I was talking to a friend and I got shoved. When I turned around, I could tell that this girl was very intoxicated, and I said, "Please don't shove me, my back is broken." I said that because she was so gone that I thought if I made it an extreme, no matter how gone she was, she would understand, oh no, she's hurt, let's not touch her. Because I was shoved violently. That did not register the same way I thought it was going to, and instead she grabbed my wrists, and she was screaming something, but she wasn't making sense, and she was screaming something at me. And my friends were there, and I put my hands up to say, like, I'm not a threat. And she was just yelling. And I remember our friends tried to get in the middle to get her off me, but it started hurting because I couldn't go down so far because I had overstretched that week. Her friend ended up talking her out to let me go. And I did sarcastically say thank you when she let go of me. I was angry. So she let go, and I sarcastically said thank you. And as I turned to walk away, she grabbed the hair on the top of my head, slammed me to the ground, and the last thing I remember was she was mounting me, about to punch me. I've never been in physical altercations. I did a little karate when I was younger, and I just remembered to protect your neck, and protect your face, protect your head, your skull. So I went up into like a fetal position to cover my head. I blacked out, and there must have been 25, 30 people that just watched her do this to me. And it took basketball players outside of the party who came in and pulled her off of me. I was 19, and what ended up happening was my back, my sacrum, which is your butt bone, basically looks like this. My sacrum was broke in 5 places, and I have 3 herniated discs in my lower spine. I went to go see doctors, and I remember I was still in college, and I could hardly move. When I laid down on the bed, I touched my back and my sacrum, it was like a wind chime. So I got a call. I remember where I was standing in my dorm room, and they said I couldn't, at this time I really couldn't walk. I needed help moving. And they said that I would need surgery, and they weren't sure if or when I was gonna recover. So I packed a bag, and I came back to Florida. And on the flight, my doctor was on the phone with me because I guess I've blacked out a lot of it, but I guess I could have hemorrhaged and possibly died on the airplane. The logistics of that, I can't remember, but I remember them saying, if you start bleeding, you have to say something. But I had to get home. I got brought with a wheelchair from my dorm room to the cab, from the cab to the airport. I got help in my seat. Then I had to get my wheelchair from the airport when my mom got me. Then it became really a blur. But from what I can remember, we went in for a ton of more MRIs, CAT scans, and so on, and they said that I would need surgery. I was never raised with the answer always being medicine or surgery, so we wanted to see what we could do naturally. I was put in bed rest. I went to many different doctors and many chiropractors searching for help. I looked at 10 different doctors in Tampa Bay and the outskirts. And there was one doctor who was the first doctor I went to, but he's my mom's godson, so we were like, he loves us. Of course he's gonna try to make the impossible possible. But we went to 10 other doctors thinking maybe we're biased, maybe he's not the best. And he was. We went back to him. Out of everybody who at 19 years old, they told me, you're gonna be lucky if you can walk again. Now, I've always known what I wanted to do as an actor, and hearing that everything you've ever worked for is going to be stripped away is, that hurts, and it's really scary. Yes, there's heavy things in life, but at that time of 19, not knowing if I was gonna ever walk again was hard, to say the least. So we went back to Dr. Joe after we checked out at so many other doctors saying, he's the only one that's making the impossible possible. He said, we have to be in bed rest because your sacrum has to heal. I legitimately laid on my back. I couldn't really move by myself, so my mom would have to physically move me to my side, to both sides, to make sure I didn't get bed sores. During this time, I had a lot of PTSD. Every time I shut my eyes, I would replay it. And I'm a firm believer that your mind is a really big part of healing. And my body was gonna take a while. And my mind was going to take a while, but what could I do? I needed to sleep. It took weeks to be able to sleep. I told myself it's the way that I heal that's going to make me stronger. So I listened to positive hypnosis on replay, legitimate replay, just going. I started listening to my positive hypnosis. I started being able to sleep again. I wasn't replaying the incident over and over and over again as much. Sometimes, but not as much. I was able to sleep, and I needed to sleep to heal. I was in bed rest, legitimate bed rest, for 4 months. The hardest thing I faced mentally and overcoming that, it was believing I could. It was telling myself that even though all the medical professionals besides one told me it was impossible, it was possible. That it was daunting, but with hard work and perseverance, I was going to be able to do it. And I had my whole life to keep fighting for the life and the strength and what I believed my life could amount to. It was really hard to keep going, to believe in myself, and to believe I was going to be okay, because I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain that a conversation was too hard. I was in so much pain that I couldn't say a sentence because it would infuriate me, because it was really painful and my back hurt so bad. So, being my biggest cheerleader and saying, Isabella, you're gonna do this. You are going to walk again. You will run again. you're gonna be able to bear children. It's my back. I want 4 beautiful babies one day. I want to be able to carry them. That I'm going to be able to have this life that I had planned, and I'm going to be able to make the impossible possible. My legs are still working. My spinal cord is still safe. I can do this. And believing I could, mentally and emotionally, it set the bar for everything else in my life. I knew that when I tackled this, when I did this, because I was going to, I had the rest of my life to fight for it. The physical challenges really tie in with the mental aspect, the emotional aspect. When I was getting through the emotional and the mental, that tacked on with the physical. So I knew I could keep going. I knew that if I did my little stretches every day. I would set it 3 times a day. My alarms, I hated getting out of bed to do it, but I had to do it. You get really angry when you're in pain and you want to give up, and you can't give up. I think almost in anything in life, when it gets really tough and maybe you're scared of failure or you don't believe in yourself, you don't want to get up. You have to get up. Even if you do it with tears down your face and you're screaming to the universe, you have to get up and you have to keep going. Because that's the only way you're going to get out of the situation. You have to keep moving forward. But physically, what happened was I would have moments if I remember the first time I hit my sacrum, my butt bone. I accidentally went to go sit on a couch and I hit the side of the couch, like anyone would. I hit the side of the couch. The fear of having my body hit, not terribly hard, just hit. I immediately broke down crying and I was like, you're okay. You're okay. But physically that alarmed me and emotionally just threw me for a whirlwind. Around the 5th year, I would go days, weeks, and not feel any pain. Basically, I started weightlifting a year after my injury. I was doing body work before that, but then I started weightlifting, very small weights, but building up those muscles because, as I said earlier, I want to have babies one day. My sacrum healed, my coccyx bone is healed, my 3 herniated discs will never heal. But what do I have control over? I have control over the muscle around it. I have control of my body to be strong and as healthy as I can be in order to get the best out of my life. So nutrition and health, when it comes to lifting and so on, yoga, have been crucial because I want to be able to run and jump and make all my dreams come true, and I want to be able to bear children. So a physical challenge that I have, my really big one that I have yet to experience, will be getting pregnant and giving birth. I will never be able to get an epidural. The big learning lesson for me is you are so strong. You're gonna feel weak sometimes. You're going to feel like you're crumbling. And when your face smushes on the concrete because you fell off the cliff and it really was scary and you don't think you can get up, you have to get up. And your darkest days will get brighter. You have to believe that no matter where you're at and whatever struggle you're in, and as much as you think you're not gonna survive this, you are. but you're only gonna survive it if you keep believing in yourself and you keep moving forward. You have to keep going. And biggest thing I learned from it was I'm really awesome and I'm really strong. And if I have this in me, you have it in you, everybody has it in you. It's really about how your body is resilient. And your emotional awareness and being kind to yourself, yes, being kind to the world around you, but you need to be kind to you. Love yourself, believe in you, so then you can tackle the rest of the world with all the obstacles thrown at you. I know that any new beautiful hurdle that comes my way, I will conquer it. Maybe it's gonna take me a while. There's gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of screams, a lot of celebration. I'm gonna do it because I know that I'm capable. I know that I'm capable of overcoming whatever comes my way. I know that everybody is truly capable of doing that. I think that it's a very bold statement to say is, you have the power to make your life great. I know that's bold. I know there's many hard obstacles. But I really believe if you're rich in self-love, you're rich in self-worth, you're rich in believing in yourself, life will work out. You will have a collection of the ones who really love you and celebrate who you are around you. Your days will not be gloomy, they will be bright and emotionally fulfilling. You have to believe in yourself. Like I said, when your face smashes into the concrete, know that you'll get back up and you keep going. You have the power. You have to put one foot in front of the other. Even if you take 10 steps back one day and it's only one toe forward the next day, you keep moving forward. And that's as simple as you woke up and you smiled at yourself in the mirror that day. Doesn't mean you had to run a marathon or start a new business. It's as simple as you woke up. You didn't say anything mean to yourself. You said, wow, I appreciate me. I would look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, Isabella, you are remarkable. You are strong. You are powerful. You are sexy. And you are going to get through this. Wherever you are, the way you speak to yourself, I think it has a huge influence. So I'm proud of me. I think we have to be proud of ourselves for the very, very small, minuscule moments, because in the grand scheme of things, without those small moments of change, can't accomplish the bigger things. So, in saying that, no moment's small. You have to believe in yourself in all of it. Speak nicely to yourself. Be kind. We only have one body. We have one body, one existence. Be kind to yourself, the people around you, and I've never been one for physical violence. It honestly makes me want to throw up if I see anybody engaging in physical violence. But out of anger or hate, I don't think physical violence is ever the answer. In one wrong move, in one loss of judgment, you can change someone's entire life. That's a lot of power, and it should not be looked at like lightly. It's a lot of power to hold in your hands, and the way we treat people, you have to be kind. It's their existence, it's their life, and if they live through something, you don't want to cripple